You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Well, the Cincinnati Bengals lost their top pick, Joe Burrow, to a just horrifying knee injury on Sunday. Many folks said, Bengals, you might want to call this guy. Colin Kaepernick hasn't played in the NFL since 2016. But he sent a reminder, folks, roll a video, please. But he sent a reminder to all 32 teams that he's ready to play. This was the video that he tweeted out, his workout on Monday, saying 1,363 days of being denied employment, still putting in work with Eric Reid. Still, come on, y'all, let's go. Thank you. Still going hard, 5 days a week. Hashtag still ready. And, of course, Eric Reid, he played with him in San Francisco. Keep playing the video, please. Thank you. He played with him in San Francisco. Reid later went on to play for the Carolina Panthers when he was released. No team has picked him up, even though he had, frankly, a career year. Some say that's because he had joined Colin Kaepernick in being very aggressive and criticizing the NFL. Joining me now to talk about this is Jamal Murphy, executive producer and co-host of Rhoden on Sports podcast. Jamal, glad to have you here. You do the podcast with Bill Rhoden. Look, I think it's abundantly clear. The NFL, we have seen some sorry quarterbacks sign in the NFL, backup quarterbacks who have no business playing. You look at what you saw out of Dallas when they lost Dak Prescott. Then, of course, they lost the backup quarterback as well, Andy Dalton, to a concussion. They put a guy in who couldn't even throw a ball downfield. I mean, the NFL is full of crap. What people have to understand is this is the 32 owners. They are the ones who run the NFL. They control the NFL. And the reality is, look, you can hang it up. Colin Kaepernick, unless a miracle happens, will never see an NFL football again.
No, I totally agree with that. That time has come and passed. Anybody who thought that Kaepernick would get another chance, that's not going to happen. If it were going to happen, it would have happened already. I've always said that the smartest thing the NFL could have done early on in the process would have been to sign Kaepernick, and they could have avoided, all this controversy, and they could have come out looking like they actually cared, like they pretend to. But yeah, the time, thinking that that NFL is going to switch up, their thought process and sign Kaepernick at this point, it's not going to happen. In fact, I think you touched on the bigger issue. The real issue is Eric Reid, who, like you said, had a career year last year, is only 28. A great safety in the league. And because he stood up for Colin Kaepernick and spoke his truth and Kaepernick's truth, he, as Kaepernick, is also being blackballed. So it's like, in effect, they're doing it again right in our face.
I use whiteballed instead of blackball. Okay. That's what I use to describe this. And again, that's what you're seeing. And look, as far as the NFL, unless they pay a price, unless people get far more aggressive in saying thanks but no thanks, they're just going to move along that whole deal with, Jay-Z and also giving money to the Players Coalition. Nah, chump change. What they're saying is we're going to make an example out of Colin Kaepernick, out of Jason Reid. Basically, y'all didn't say Toby. You kept saying Kunta. Fine, you're going to stay that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. But I do appreciate what Kaepernick is doing because I think he knows this also. He knows that he has basically no chance of any NFL team really signing him, but he is keeping the issue alive. And I always say we should hashtag never forget what the NFL did to Kaepernick and what they're doing to Reid because it's going to be a forever stain on the NFL. So I appreciate Kaepernick every chance he gets, putting a video out saying, I'm still in shape, I still can play. We know it's not about talent at this point. When you have people like you mentioned, you have Joe Flacco playing for the Jets, you have Ryan Finley in Cincinnati, whoever the Jacksonville quarterback is, I don't even know. You got Drew Lock in Denver, Nick Foles and Trubisky in Chicago, Nick Mullins in San Francisco. These people are not even close to what Kaepernick was. And I didn't even mention Alex Smith, who he beat out already, who now is starting for the Washington football team. So, no, I agree wholeheartedly with everything you're saying.
And I think it is important, I think, for him to keep doing this and to keep putting this out there because, I mean, look, Tom Brady is in his 40s and he's still playing. And so guess what? I say this as far as Colin Kaepernick, keep putting them out there and make them have to deal with this every single year until you physically can't play again.
Yeah, maybe even beyond that. Maybe even make a mockery of them, even when you're in your late 40s. Keep doing it because I just commend him for consistently embarrassing the league because it's worth embarrassment. And again, they're doing it again to Eric Reid, and no one's really even talking about it. Okay, this like I said, a 28-year-old in the prime of his career had a great year last year because he knelt with Kaepernick and continued to speak out against the league. They obviously whatever backlash they got for doing this to Kaepernick, for whiteballing Kaepernick, doesn't matter. It's all lip service because they did it again to Eric Reid.
All right, then. Jamal Murphy, executive producer and co-host of Rhoden on Sports Podcast. Man, I certainly appreciate it. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
All right. Back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.